don't need empirical evidence to tell me that my body hurts.
Okay, this is a response video to the video that VeganGains just put up. It's his debate with Onision. He just put it up 5 minutes ago. I just watched the first 3.5 minutes and decided that I need to stop all the fun that I'm having here at night and get back to work because I'm sick of this crap. I'm now downloading part of his video so I can show you some of the clips and then I'll make comments on them. I've already put up a video today. And I made a video about Onision failing on the vegan diet, but of course not everyone in the community saw it. Certainly not him or VeganGains or almost anybody. Hopefully people will see this video. Onision is a bunch of crap. Either he is stupid or he's scamming us all. But that's not what this video is really going to be about. I'm simply going to take what both of them are saying and tell you the truth. Yes, I do respect VeganGains, but he has only been a vegan for a couple of years, and he has shown some of his ignorance in his last video, which I did a response to. As for Onision, this guy's a punk. He's laughing through the video. I don't know why. He's one of the worst YouTubers. Okay, from the top, here's how VeganGains video starts.
Howdy.
Hey.
Hey.
Hear me fine?
Yeah, someone said in YouNow that it was sociopath versus sociopath.
Sort of accurate.
I thought that was pretty funny. There's a dilemma with our debate, and that is I don't know what I'm debating.
Okay, well, no, you pretty much agree with the ethical principles of veganism. It's just that you're not totally on board with the diet and nutrition and health aspects.
It's that I suck at it.
Right, okay.
Like, whenever I try to go vegan, I always have medical problems, and I'm trying.
Okay, I'll give him some credit here for taking some of the blame. He does suck at it, but he doesn't understand why he sucks at it. He's under the impression that this diet is hard to do. Wow, I just said that in today's video. The VeganGains diet response was yesterday's video. I'm making so many videos, I'm losing track.
Like,
Okay, medical problems.
Yeah.
So you've actually had, like, blood work done or something?
oh please, let's not do that. Let's just establish
Okay,
that.
well,
Okay, here's where I started getting pissed off. He is so immature, but it's more than that. What was with that lousy attitude? Who's real young and doesn't have much... He doesn't have experience, especially when it comes to veganism. But I want to point out, he made a good point in there, and I want to address his good point he made. The attitude, it just is kind of discrediting, but he kind of clarifies why he's got that attitude. Here's the good point he makes.
If you wake up and your whole body is in pain, that you don't need a doctor to tell that your whole body is in pain.
okay, well, I understand that, but, you know, it just kind of helps to have, like, you know, empirical evidence that you are, in fact, deficient in something.
What I'm saying, see, here's the thing. I'm not trying to prove to the world that veganism doesn't work for everybody.
Okay, we all understand each other here. On one level, we see what Onision's saying. He had problems. They seem to be very clear, and he thinks it was clear that it's connected with the vegan diet. But I think the reason VeganGains asked about the blood tests, I think he was on the right track here. Not because we need to prove that Onision had problems, but we need to see why.
I don't need empirical evidence to tell me that my body hurts.
Okay, well, you, like, correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't been following everything too closely, but you tried to go vegan, like, a few months ago now. You made a video after you failed the diet, and from what I saw, you blamed Freelee for it, so you just took her advice again?
This is what Freelee said. Oh, the human body actually needs far less protein than people say.
Okay, so did you actually follow her advice, though?
Yeah, I followed
Okay.
the advice thinking, I don't need protein as much because she says
Okay.
way less protein, so I'm not going to worry about protein as much.
Okay, well...
Insane.
Okay, well...
Onision assumed that he had deficiencies and assumed it was the vegan diet. But see, this is why we have science and studies and double-blind tests and empirical evidence, because people can easily misconstrue things. A blood test would have given some kind of proof and told us exactly what was going on. Notice he didn't even say, he could have just said no or yes about the blood test, but instead he chuckled. Again, this is discrediting to him. Onision has a lot of viewers, and it might be okay to make a video saying you're having problems on the vegan diet. That's a very popular clickbait technique to get views on YouTube. It's a much worse thing to go on and make assumptions. And this is all BS anyway, because as you can see in my video, my response to Onision failing, I'll put a link up here. You can see that his diet was a whole bunch of bull crap, hardly yellow bananas, and eating like 1 or 2 pieces of fruit at a time. That's not the diet. He had to know he wasn't doing it right. A whole bunch of his viewers called him out on it, and here he is still pretending that he didn't read any of those comments and that he hasn't heard that he wasn't doing the diet. He never went to a doctor. He never sought to figure out exactly what was going on. And that's fine if you don't want to do that. But you should also not go on YouTube and self-diagnose yourself. Here's the good point he was making. It is a good point, but he still doesn't understand this. When VeganGains asks him how much protein he was eating, Onision then said, now see, that's the problem there. If you have to keep track of all your macros and all this and that, then it's not easy to do the diet. It's not a natural thing. And that would be a good point. But the reason VeganGains asked that is because he's showing that Onision doesn't really know if it was protein or not, because he never got a blood test. Aha! Is VeganGains really smart? Well, he's just getting fat. I don't know. Video coming about that.
I can't remember the actual name of the study, but it was based in the UK. They found that like a typical vegan consumes something like 75 grams of protein per day. And I think the average meat eater, it's slightly more. It's like 79. How much protein were you getting per day?
You're at...
Like,
So,
were you
one of the-
basically
one of
just
the
eating
main-
fruit?
One of the main reasons I am not a vegan is because I don't like treating my diet like a chore. And to ask somebody how many grams of protein you had in a day is to assume that I'm sitting here going, all right, let me take out my calculator before I eat.
Okay, right. I can understand that, but I can understand that. So just go through what you were eating.
It's on my my Instagram, Onision Foods. I actually went through it with Freelee, and she was like, "Oh, that's great, good job." And that's a bad impression. But we went through it all, and she said I was doing really good. And then it took like 2 weeks for me to start getting like really, like for instance, I couldn't do the typical physical activities I used to. Like I'd get winded trying to do most anything.
So what's the difference between...
The difference is egg whites.
Egg whites?
Yeah,
That's literally it?
Yeah, that's about it.
And see, the reason we ask about blood tests and about exact numbers you were getting is so we can take those numbers and make our point. But our point ends up being only because they didn't take a blood test. Our point ends up being that they didn't do that. So we don't have no idea what the numbers are. We don't know how much protein he was getting. To make a long story short here, what I'm saying is it's actually true that you don't need the amount of protein people think. And VeganGains, I think, was getting at the average vegan gets 75, which is much more than you need. Even the U.S. government says you need about 60 grams, and that's just to cover bases. The RDAs are pumped up a lot. You actually only need about 35 grams. I get about 40. I've been doing this for over a year, maybe longer. I used to count my protein, but I stopped doing that a year or two ago. So I'll wrap this up so I can get this out soon. I could do more later if you wanted. I can do hours of this, but it takes time. So we don't know if it was protein. Now, he was low on protein only because he was eating so little food, as far as we could see in his video. But he was only on the diet, what, weeks? You can't run out of protein that fast. So there's something else going on with him. If we're to believe that he had these crazy symptoms, if it's true, I suggest that he has some kind of health problem, because the way he was eating just wouldn't cause those symptoms. And he really should get checked out. He should have got checked out right when he had the problem. Right now, they might not be able to figure it out. An underlying health problem that he would never know, but he might pay for later. He really missed the boat here. And somebody should have told him. I think I did in my video, but I'm not popular. These two jokers are.